So coming up to the 30-second mark now. So 30 seconds to start for our junior drivers. This is the future of our sport, ladies and gentlemen. They're 15 horsepower engines. Most of them are stock. The kids are great. Parents, on the other hand, I'm not sure of our handicaps or whether we're a scratch race. Okay, so it's a handicap and we've just gone 0 and Levi's meant to be our 0 man and Levi is having a little snooze. So you snooze, you lose, Levi. That's how it works. Flat out's going to be the first boat to greet the starters' orders. It's Chase Hamilton, so good start there from Chase. Then it's back to the Budlight Junior with Harry Meads. Then it's Andy Cameron on the outside in the Little Nuts. Then the Spitfire, Jack Williamson, he greets the starter. Levi now wakes up out of his slumber and he was the guy that was meant to go first, so Levi is on a learning curve, one of the younger and newer drivers. And my man Joshy Taranto in prime is the last away. He's handicapped, so Joshy taking some big hits out there at the moment too, so better him than me. I'd have compressed about 3 vertebrae by now. I used to love that stuff, getting beaten up in boats, but now I just can't move for a week afterwards. Right, back straight away, and it's the flat out Chase Hamilton. Chase, of course, for those of you that don't know, is Heath Hamilton's son. Hidden Automotive, one of our wonderful sponsors here this weekend. And Heath coming third in the Glenmaggie Cup a little bit earlier on. So Chase out there, he'll be the next one to be competing in a Glenmaggie Cup, I can assure you of that. He'll take over from Dad, I'm sure. Once Dad gets too old and decrepit, which he really nearly is now. It was his birthday yesterday. Oh, big jump there. You can hear the hulls absolutely slapping the water. So kids doing a good job out there in some quite trying and rough conditions at the moment. Harry Meads in the Budlight Junior. And young Andrew Cameron, he's out of the Victorian Speedboat Club at Lake Epilock. Firing through and doing a good job in the Little Nuts. I'm not sure if that's a statement or the boat name. Then it's Levi coming through and Williamson behind him in the Spitfire. Josh Taranto pushing very hard, trying to make up this handicap gap. Probably got the best trim angle that I can see out there is the prime boat. It's running nice and level, which is what you want in these conditions. It's fine to get them all trimmed up when it's nice and smooth, but in these rougher conditions now, you want the boat a nice level attitude so it's not throwing its nose up in the air. The trim on these little boats is set, so you can't actually trim them up and down like the big boats can from the cockpit. Once you leave the pits, you're set, and that's what you've got. So all you can do is use your body weight backwards and forwards to try and trim the boat once you've left the pits. So it's all about getting your setup right for the actual conditions that you're racing in. And the guys that have done the best job of that at the moment would be the Hamiltons, because the flat out, which I believe is a Stewie Jackson owned boat, and a big shout out to Stewie. Hope you're at home watching, mate. He's been in hospital, had a little bit of a operation, so we hope Stewie's feeling all right. We hope he's at home watching and enjoying the racing and watching his boats go round as well. Good on you, Stu. Harry Meads just going through there in the Budlight, so he's running up into second spot. Third spot, Andy Cameron. A little bit much trim in that boat, I reckon. It's just a bit nosy for these conditions, and Andy battling pretty hard. Levi Witten doing a great job. It's a shame that he missed that start, because he's actually cracking along pretty nicely. And then Joshy Taranto, who's managed to get around the outside of Jack Williamson in the Spitfire, and has now got his sights set on Levi Witten, try and get him, but He'll run out of time, I think, in this one. He's certainly not going to get the flat out boat. He's out in front and doing it in fine style. So flat out comes through, ticks off another lap. Chase Hamilton doing it very, very nicely. Still running in second spot is Harry Meads. Good little operator. His father, of course, runs the Budlight boat, in case you couldn't work that one out for yourselves. We've got the dads down in front of us. We've got Heath Hamilton and Mickey Taranto just watching on. Heath, this is how you win a race, mate, just in case you're wondering. Andy Cameron running in third, but I tell you what, a hard-charging Levi Whitten is looking a little bit threatening, and so is this kid. Oh, Joshy Taranto, a big fly for him in the prime. Gathers it back together. We saw gearbox prop the whole lot. Josh pushing on nice and hard. He wants to try and at least get round Levi, but and he's taking a couple of big hits as well. Levi's boat looks quite settled, actually. Spitfire comes through. That's Jack Williamson. He's rounding out the field at the moment. Yellow flag comes out, so one lap to go now for the flat out. So Chase Hamilton getting it done nicely. This is where the real drivers come out in the rough conditions. Who's the bravest? Who's got the best setup? Harry Meads doing it pretty nicely as well. Still running in a very comfortable second spot for him. So a little bit of a battle pack starting to develop here. Andy Cameron at the head of it in the Little Nuts. But have a look at Levi Whitten. He is on a hard charge, this young fellow. He takes some big hits. Oh, and what's happened there? Joshy Taranto's come to a stop. Oh, what's happened? Something's happened. Maybe his father needs to spend another $3 on fuel. He may have pulled the kill switch as well. He took a bit of a hit just before he stopped there. But checkered flag comes out, and race winner and race leader is going to be Chase Hamilton taking the win in the flat out. A lap down there, Jack Williamson will come through and get the course completed. Joshy Taranto will be absolutely spitting chips. He better grow the mullet back, I think. Second place is going to be this kid here, Harry Meads in the Budlight Junior. And I tell you what, I reckon for one of the youngest competitors in the field and one of the newbies to the category, this is going to be the drive of the race, I reckon. This is Levi Whitten. Although he balls the start up and probably should have won this, he has driven exceptionally since then. Just a little bit of start practice and this kid's going to be nearly unbeatable. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Levi Whitten, third place. Great drive from him, overhauling one of the stalwarts of the category in Andy Cameron out of the VSBC in the Little Nuts. And that is the final boat home. Unfortunately, Joshy Taranto gets towed back in. Dad's got something to do now, like you needed extra.